Hey, Andy Lockwood, College Coffee Talk. So, that was a little goof. I was actually reading the paper today and in the Wall Street Journal. I noticed a couple things. Number one, I wasn't quoted. I always look for that. And the second thing is that big announcement, Snapchat going public, valued at $24 billion. That's a lot of cabbage. So what I wanted to talk about today on College Coffee Talk is based on a question that I have received over and over again, and this little marketing experiment, the College Coffee Talk experiment, is my way of trying to answer a lot of the questions that we have gotten over the last couple of years. And the good news is I'm answering your questions. The bad news might be that there's like 200 something of them, and I'm going to be doing these College Coffee Talks for a long time. So I don't mind doing them. I hope you like them. So Snapchat, the reason I'm bringing that up is because I get asked all the time, like, how do you pick colleges? What should we major in? What are the hot trends? That type of thing. And one of the fundamental problems with picking colleges, or with college in general, is that college is designed, you would think, to help kids get something out of it more than what they put in. What that means is to help prepare them for success after college. But developments like the Snapchat IPO of $24 billion valuation kind of throw a monkey wrench into the whole thing, because Snapchat didn't even exist 5 years ago. It was founded, maybe a little bit more. I think it was founded in 2011. So my point is that if we don't know what the hot companies are going to be and the hot jobs and all that, how can we possibly expect college to, let's say you have a kid graduates 2018, how can we expect college to prepare your and our kids for life in 5 or 6 years? If let's say Facebook isn't around, or Google, or whatever, who knows? I read recently that 80% of new jobs were created by companies that weren't around 5 years ago. So if you look at the biggest companies right now, like, I don't know, I guess Snapchat's not one of the biggest companies, but like Google and Amazon, Apple, they weren't around 20-something years ago. Companies like Uber and Snap, or whatever the company is called that's going public, it's kind of hard to figure this out. So what do you do? What does that leave you? What should your game plan be? Well, I think that what you need to understand is what employers say that they want for employees of the future. 93% of employers say that kids are woefully unprepared for the workforce when they get out. And one of the main thing that employers desire the most is the ability to deal with ambiguity. Critical thinking is sort of the buzzword that is used to describe that. And that makes sense, given that, especially with technology and the Snapchat example and whatever, things are moving so quickly that anyone who's going to be a productive employee or business owner or whatever, successful in this new economy, has to be a lifetime learner. So it's one thing to be able to do a math problem where there's a right and a wrong answer, and that's it. But in real life, there could be 5 or 10 correct answers, and the critical thinking kid who can deal with ambiguity will be able to synthesize the options and try to put together one of the correct answers. That's really the difference. So how do you do this? How do you position yourself for success in this new economy so that employers are interested in looking at you and hiring you ultimately? It's really a couple things. One is you have to major in something that I think the perfect world here is to major in something that will help you develop those critical thinking skills. There are good majors for that, and there are bad majors for that. Some of the good majors are kind of, some are easy to figure out, some are counterintuitive. So the hard sciences, I think the Snapchat founders were Stanford engineering or something, or computer science guys, I can't remember. But those types of sciences, chemistry, bio, not the soft sciences like psychology, which happens to be one of the worst majors for critical thinking. Business, I think, is literally the worst major for critical thinking skills, because they can test this. There's a test called the Collegiate Learning Assessment Test, the CLE or the CLAT, that looks at the critical learning skill development of college students from freshman year to junior year, and then again after they graduate. So, I'm sorry, freshman year and sophomore year, so 2 years and then 4 years. And the stats that looked at who developed critical thinking skills were pretty abysmal. After 2 years, 48% of kids showed zero improvement, and after 4 years, 36% showed zero improvement in critical thinking skills. And those majors, business and psych, and sadly, education, did the worst. The best ones are those hard sciences that I mentioned before, as well as philosophy, history, English, because you have to synthesize ideas. Now, I'm not saying that there's a lot of jobs for philosophy majors necessarily. I think it was History of the World where Mel Brooks was Comica, stand-up philosopher. I don't think that's a big job anymore, but you can major in something that hones your critical thinking skills, and equally important, pick up strategic internships along the way in real jobs where you can develop real actual job skills, the soft sort of emotional intelligence skills, like being able to take constructive criticism from people older than you. A lot of kids don't have that ability going through high school and into college. They're babied. I'm sorry to say that, but that's the truth. Learning to work on a team, learning to sort of pay your dues, learning to roll up your sleeves and do the grunt work, the equivalent of working in the mailroom, that type of stuff. Those are all non-academic, real-world skills that need to be developed as soon as possible, if not high school, then immediately in college. Because ultimately, once you get to your junior year, between junior and senior year, you want to be doing an internship at a place that hopefully will be interested in hiring you, because 50% of kids who are hired each year come from the company's own internship pool. So what that implies is that junior year needs to stack on top of the sophomore and the freshman year internships. So that's really the recipe. I think I'm a big fan of a liberal arts education, or an education in the sciences and the hard sciences, engineering, bio, you name it, chemistry, but also do whatever it takes to pick up not just these critical thinking skills, but also the real world job and workforce skills that you will get only through interning. So that is my story. I am sticking to it. This has been another great episode, well, in my opinion, a great episode of College Coffee Talk. Please like, comment, and share. If you have any questions, if anything I said is provocative or resonates with you, or you disagree with it, pop it in comments. I appreciate it. We have a whole bunch of stuff happening this month in March, including a couple of workshops. We're also hosting an open house. So I will throw links up in our comment section here on this post. And if you are interested in attending any of these free events, free workshops on college financial aid and getting into college and college essays and more stuff about similar to what I just talked about, it's here for you on our website, collegeplanningGuru.com. I'm signing off, and I'll talk to you tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.